Hello, I'm checking in with Orlando Furioso. I have read half of the poem so far in translation. It is a 16th century epic Italian poem written by Ludvigo Aristo. I'm reading the Barbara Reynolds translation. And I just wanted to stop here at the halfway point and just share a couple of images, a couple of stories from this massive tale. Not the main tale, which is all about Orlando and his unrequited love for the Saracen princess Angelica, who wants nothing to do with him and is getting away as fast as she can. No, I want to kind of just stop and dwell on just a couple of the smaller images or smaller stories that are contained, braided throughout the story, because they all kind of really are adding up to this wonderful, oftentimes comedic, adventurous, sexy effect. So this one that I want to talk about is with following a kind of a group of the heroes. Orlando's not with them. Marfisa and Grifone, I think, are the two. Marfisa being this kick-ass maiden warrior, Grifone being a English. I think he's an English duke or something like that. They and a bunch of other guys, they get on a ship, but they get shipwrecked off to this gulf, just around Syria, where they are taken captive by these women, these what turn out to be formerly Cretan women, who have 2,000 years ago been scorned, been abandoned by Greeks who have a connection to it's a Homer's epic in there, but they are abandoned by these Greek lovers who they had kind of taken off from their husbands over, and as a result, they decide they want revenge, and for 2,000 years they have been capturing shipwrecks and murdering the men. And indeed, as this shipwreck happens, our adventurers are told by the sailors what is in store. That coast was ruled by women, enemies of men, according to their ancient laws. Almost all prisoners were killed or must remain as slaves, and freedom only he could boast who of the captive males could vanquish 10. And further labor too was his that night. 10 women he must serve for their delight, or end up dying. And indeed, this is what happens. This is what happens. They are taken, and 6,000 women gather at the port, armed with their longbows and attired for war. All prospects of escaping are cut short by chains which they have draped across the bar, slung from the vessel which they always use when thus the harbor they desire to close. And so this is what happened. And it's interesting because they do have male slaves here, but what they find is that all these women, they're not allowed to have weapons unless they're the 10 who are the ones that you have to fight. But the others at the distaff and the spindle, the comb, the needle, and the loom are found. Their strength diminishes, their spirits dwindle. Their garments are so long they sweep the ground. No masculine desire their bosoms kindle. As patiently they plow, in fetters bound, or guard the flocks. Few males there are, scarce 1 in 10 within, without the wall. So, indeed, these men, the men that are there, that are slaves, are they're drained. There's no masculine desire in their bosoms kindle. They don't have any of the virtue, the spunk of a free masculine male. And indeed, yeah, the women have been doing this for 2,000 years. This is a civilization built on men, which built on hatred of men, not built on men, but built on the hatred of men. It's definitely one of these societies, that fictional societies that you see kind of like pop up as kind of a male anxiety, and a male anxiety that, you've got to fight 10 men and defeat all of them, but also you have to be pleasing to 10 women all in one night, and if you don't make it through that, then you will die as well. There's anxiety there of a physical, both physically of just masculine arms, but also kind of masculine sexuality of that. And if you come up short, you get chopped for it. Which is yet again in this kind of this white poem that is about chivalry, is about knights and their heroic deeds, and there's like massive battles and things like that, you know, you have these knights just mowing through people and how awesome they are. There's just all these kind of like scenes of like male anxiety, what seemed like to me like male anxiety, and you know, it's funny that the image that frees everybody from this in the end, spoiler, is a guy honking on his horn. It's his horn, but he's like honking on a phallic device of some sort is I think a part of the joke that is going on here. That is that is what scatters these women, is a man blowing his horn, which I think gets you to the sly, the kind of the humor, the oh yeah, these knights with their big swords, they seem a little insecure maybe. So yeah, that's my little check-in with Orlando Furioso this time. A really fun, entertaining, and just kind of like, you know, we're going to take the piss out of things. It is interesting the number of works of chivalry that I have read where there's some ideal, but it seems like a lot of the works that end up coming out of this are works that are poking at it, like almost like maybe the chivalrous knights weren't the ones writing these poems, but poets who are just kind of like, yeah, you buddy, yeah, I see you. I see how you're worried. And also maybe how we're entertaining not only the knight with their heroic deeds, but also we're entertaining all the other people who have to suffer under you, and maybe get a little getter digs in there, and kind of hint at what maybe we really think about you guys. All right. That has been my little check-in with Orlando Furioso, a work that I have come to because of Tom LA Books, who is doing a canto by canto read of this, and he actually knows what he's talking about far more than I. He actually reads it in the original Italian, and he also recommended the Barbara Reynolds translation as a good place for someone who, like me, who does not have any Italian whatsoever and probably mispronounces all the names and everything like that to go with. So yes, Orlando Furioso. I will continue with the second book, canto by canto, week by week. All right, I've been Jay. More videos later.